Awesome. So thanks for hopping in. As I said a little bit earlier, we're highlighting the partnership for iRecruit and Verified First. Happy to have you guys on. I kind of want to explore how Verified First integration with iRecruit's platform benefits your organization. Just a quick housekeeping item. This session is being recorded. We'll send out a copy after the webinar is done. With that, we encourage you to share this recording too. So if you have people within your network that might need to see the demo or have questions, this webinar is able to be shared out there afterwards as well. Additionally, there's a Q&A panel at the end of the presentation. So if you do have questions, let us know in the chat function and we'll get to them during the seminar or as well after during the Q&A session. So with that, we'll go ahead and move forward to our panelists for today. I'm Dakota Bruno with Verified First. I help manage a lot of our partnerships here. With me though, I have Brian Kelly, the managing partner at iRecruit. Good afternoon, how are you doing, Brian?
Terrific, Dakota. Thanks for investing your time today.
Yeah, no problem. Before we get fully started, Brian, I was curious if you could maybe tell us a little bit about yourself and then your role at iRecruit.
Well, as you see, my role is managing partner. We actually started CMS as an organization back in 1997, so we've been at this a little ways. And we started developing iRecruit probably in 2002, 2003 for a small little company here in the Northeast, which was AAA Automobile Clubs, where they'd have all the remote locations and all the applicants coming in. And we actually built a web portal back then so that they can manage their applicants. So that's how we started out.
Nice. And it's been a fun ride since then.
Yes, nothing but fun.
Perfect. Well, we'll jump into a little bit about Verified First and iRecruit and kind of why the partnership came about. Really, as you see here, there's some words around this, but we partnered with iRecruit because Verified First offers primarily background checks, and iRecruit has a very unique and platform that is set up to where an integration made sense, and it made a streamlined process that allowed customers to better utilize iRecruit's platform for multiple different products and functions. Brian, do you have anything to add about the partnership between Verified First and iRecruit and kind of what made it a good fit?
Yeah, and for all our guests today, this was not a knee-jerk reaction partnering with Verified First. Actually, over several years, probably a 2-year process, we looked at multiple background checks, and we looked for certain things in those companies. And what we found was basically all the items that we're looking for in Verified First. I'm going to hold back on those right now, but I just want to let people know that that process started back in 2015, and we went live with Verified First in 2017. So we've been utilizing this partnership for 4 years, and it's been excellent.
Perfect. Yeah, we're super glad to have iRecruit and look forward to growing that partnership and developing it even more. Definitely. We'll move forward then, going away from the partnership and really into the why behind this seminar. We're going to start off with a quick video just to give a summary overview of really what background checks mean and why this partnership came about. So as we watch this, if you have any questions, throw them in the chat, but it's just a quick 1-minute video.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and this is Hank. Hank has applied to be a commercial driver at Acme. He appears to be a great candidate and has disclosed past infractions. However, he didn't mention he's been involved in multiple motor vehicle accidents and has had a variety of driving tickets. Additionally, he's been fired from 3 of his previous employers. With his history, hiring him might lead to a negligent hiring lawsuit and put your organization at risk. That's why vetting candidates like Hank through a PBSA accredited background check process is crucial to Acme. Not only can you reduce the risk of a bad hire, you can improve the accuracy and quality of hire. Revealing a candidate's history can help protect Acme and its employees. Not to mention, a bad hire can impact the retention of great employees you don't want to lose. To request a demo, visit verifiedfirst.com.
Perfect. So really some highlights from that short video. background checks they allow you and your company to avoid certain situations that may be damaging for current employees, new employees, as well as the company itself. You know, it can insulate from certain litigation issues as well. Brian, did you have any thoughts on the video when you saw it?
No, I mean, we want to make sure that we obviously get the best candidates in, and make sure that we screen everybody to make sure they're going to be a great hire through the process. So as we all know, it's important to do background checks.
Yeah, definitely. So with this video, there's some certain variables that go into hiring, and we'll go into that. Hopefully I don't start it again and I can skip the slide. Perfect. So it brings up the question, you know, why do bad things happen to good people and good employees, good employers, all of the above? Verified First does a research article with Aptitude Research every year now. And this is some research we found in 2021 that 39% of organizations are not screening every candidate for roles at their organization. And this brings up a couple points. One, without conducting background checks, your organization might be missing relevant information regarding someone's past. Additionally, it's very important and very key to create a policy and a practice to screen every candidate so that you, one, know their information, and two, have a fair policy and a fair practice regarding all of your candidates and all of your employees so that you're not discriminating and that you're being fair across the board. Brian, does that hold true with what you've seen with organizations, or is this number shocking that a lot of organizations aren't screening every candidate?
Interesting enough, we do run into some clients that still do not do background checks. Personally, I don't understand that because of what you mentioned earlier in the slide. That is, you know, the potential people. You have one bad hire, he could ruin your organization, or she could ruin your organization. So it's critical to do that. But you also want to make sure you're doing the right background check. And that was one of the other reasons why we chose Verified First, because some of the background check companies only did a portion. They might have not done all the drug tests, as an example. We found that Verified First has over 160 different background checks. Is that correct?
Correct, yeah, over 160 between background screening and drug screening combined, yeah.
Which is awesome for our clients, because now we're going to one source to do all our screening, whether it's drug test related or criminal background check related. So everything's there for our clients.
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, with so many different products, it's key to get the right product, and we can help out. And the integration makes it seamless to be able to select those so that you make sure you're doing the right thing for your candidates. Going on, we have our first question we'd like to ask. How many U.S. drivers are arrested for driving under the influence of alcohol or narcotics annually? I'll pop up a poll question. That way the attendees can answer that question and really see their response. I'm curious to see the feedback. This seems like a surprising number to me, honestly. So I'll go ahead and launch the poll, give it a few minutes or a few seconds for attendees to participate, and we can see how many U.S. drivers you think are arrested for driving under the influence. And this isn't just arrested, or this isn't just caught, but it's arrested. And that's a bigger number. Perfect, give it a couple more seconds, and then we'll close the poll, about 30 seconds long. So I'll go ahead and close it now, and then we'll pop back over into the question. Definitely, and so what we found is that a lot of our attendees answered between 100 and 2,000 individual range, and the answer here is that actually more than 1 million people, drivers, are arrested annually for driving under the influence of alcohol and narcotics. When I first saw this number, I was astounded. I thought that was way too high to be true, because you'd think that people wouldn't do that. And additionally, it's important for companies to know that, because these are your employees that are having that happen to them, and it's not fairly common for employees to come to the employer themselves and you know, disclose that this incident happened. And so that's why background screening, one, on the point of hire, and two, having a policy in place to continually screen your employees so you can understand where they're at in their life and what incidents may or may not have happened, is extremely important. Brian, when you first saw this number, what did you think? Was that shocking, or is it what you expected?
Not sure if I expected anything. It all comes down to actually one's too many, right? So if it was 1 million, 1,000,001 is too many. So I was kind of thinking in that process as we were going through the questionnaire.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously we understand that not every employer necessarily pertains to drivers. You want to know what employers are doing, but maybe you don't have vehicles that are being driven as a company. This is just an example of how one of the 160 different products can be effective in your workplace. Second poll question, real quick. We just want to perform research to see what technology you're considering replacing within the next 6 months. This is something we do in our seminars to perform research to see where that gap might be or where people are looking at replacing. So I will pop up that poll question and launch it for about 30 seconds as well. And then we can go over those answers and just kind of talk through that as well. The important thing here to know, though, as well as we're going through the questions, that through the integration with iRecruit and Verified First, that ATS and HR platform, then the background screening is able to be joined. So if that is something you're looking for, iRecruit and Verified First makes it easy to have in one area together, which keeps it nice and simple. And we'll go over that here in a few minutes. So I'll close the poll. Thanks for your participation. So as we pop back into that, again, just want to emphasize that those technologies are key pieces in a company's hiring process and really even the functionality of the company. We find that a lot of people are looking to change one of those technologies, and so being aware of that and understanding that this integration plays into all those technologies makes a big difference. The next slide we'll go into, I'm going to highlight a couple key points for background screening and why it matters before we get into the demo. So we'll get into the demo right after this next slide. Going over these points on a high level, briefly, one misnomer about background screening is that it takes longer and is more expensive when hiring employees. And what we've found and what the research shows is that that's actually inverse. It's actually opposite. So if you go look at the first point, organizations that run background checks are twice as likely to improve quality of hires. And that's an extremely important piece of hiring and maintaining your company culture and structure, is getting quality candidates in the door and allowing them to stay. And in addition to getting quality candidates, as the next point says, you're 3 times more likely to improve the time to fill, meaning your HR staff that's providing that staffing and that recruiting and everything going on, they're going to be less stressed and be able to move forward more confidently if your organization has a background screening and drug screening policy in place, because they understand where those candidates are coming from and they know that they can be more confident moving forward with that hiring decision, and that reduces the time drastically. They're not spending as much time deliberating. Lastly, that kind of highlighted a second ago, you're twice as likely to improve recruiter satisfaction. So like the video said, you want to protect candidates you're onboarding, but you also need to protect the employees you have working for your organization right now. And background screening allows you to do that, especially for your HR and talent acquisition department. Brian, do you have any notes to add on to these facts that are perhaps different from what people normally think?
No, I think the numbers and the facts are accurate. I think what's worth saying, though, is a lot of people don't do the background checks because of the response time. Many of the background checks company take 1 day, 2 days, 3 days or more. And again, we felt that Verified First actually had better turnaround time and results. Matter of fact, we use it internally. And when we hired a candidate, I think I got all the results back in about 2 hours. So,
oh, yeah.
So it makes it worthwhile to do so because the response time is so well. So that's the only thing I would add to that.
Perfect, yeah. And going along with that, we're gonna hop into the demo now just to show what that process looks like and that it really is simple and easy. And then like Brian just said, the results you can get back can vary, but are oftentimes very quick. So I'll hop into a demo real quick. As we go through this journey, I wanna show you that it's really easy to install. So I'm gonna hop into the iRecruit platform first without the integration so you can see what it looks like originally without Verified First integration. So you're going to come to a candidates page that will look oftentimes like this. This is a typical candidates page within the iRecruit platform, nothing different. Now what you're going to do if you're going to create the Verified First integration, and a common misconception with integrations is that it takes a lot of IT work, and I'll show you that if you come to the Chrome Web Store or Internet Explorer, Mozilla, Firefox, Safari, whatever web browser you use, you can go to their app store. All you have to do is type in verified first, search it. I found out that even if you spell it wrong, typically verified first shows up. You highlight this integration. This is called a Chrome extension in this instance, and you add it to Chrome is all you do. Once you add to Chrome, click Add Extension. It'll pop up here in your right-hand corner. So you click your Manage Extensions button, find Verified First, click on it, allow access. This is what is a key piece of creating that integration. And then what you also want to do is pin that integration to your tabs. That way you see the Verified First button. Now, as soon as you do that, you'll be able to hop in this iRecruit platform. I'll have to refresh real quick. Hopefully it brings you back to a candidates page. You'll notice something different. There is a screen with Verified First button. So just like that, you have created that integration within the iRecruit platform, and it is almost ready to go. The last step is to create an account with Verified First, and we can help walk through that. So if you click Screen with Verified First, you'll have to log in. So I'm going to log into the account we have set up. You'll be able to have your own account, and the Verified First team and iRecruit can help walk you through that and get that set up. Let me type this in real quick. As always with passwords, make sure I don't get it wrong. Boom. So there's, I'm going to skip to a different candidate that I've made that has a report not complete on it, so we can see it. So here you have a screen with Verified First button, and you'll click Placing Your Order to begin the background screening process. What this does, it allows you to stay within iRecruit's platform and still order background checks. So you'll see that here you have packages, positions, a lot of information, but what's important to notice is that this integration scrapes over the data and brings it over for you so that you don't have to enter any data and duplicate that effort. That saves a lot of time, and it also saves a lot of potential for error. From this point, what you'll do is you'll click Send Invite, and notice that there's a couple notifications here, just ensuring that they're for employment purposes. The HR individual can auto order the background check as soon as the candidate has filled out the disclosure forms, or there's another check and balance where we're able to manually order the report after the candidate has finished the disclosure forms. In this case, I will auto order and click Next. A key function here, Verified First texts and emails these disclosure forms, if chosen, to your candidates. Texting these forms, we've found, shaves about a day of turnaround time off of these background checks, meaning if your talent acquisition department is sending out a background check, that candidate is more likely to fill out the necessary forms a day sooner than if we only email it. So that SMS text function is key here. You're going to click Send. What will happen is it will bring an email into the candidate's profile. I'll pull that over here in a sec once I get it. So that email will oftentimes look like this. And as a note, if you're working with Verified First, this email can be customized to look and sound the way you need it to sound, so it can be more familiar with your candidates and look like it doesn't come from a foreign entity. What the candidate will see and begin to experience is these disclosure forms, and this is important because it creates the right background check, the right drug screen, etc., for whatever location they're in. So it doesn't matter whatever state you're hiring for, Verified First will take care of the compliance factor of the background and drug tests. So when they begin this, I'll go through a couple steps. They have to consent and sign, etc., so that they can begin this background check. We do require the last four of the social so that we can run that background check. Again, that is all PP, personal information compliance, and there's not a risk there for you. Once that happens, we have to confirm where the individual is at for their employment, and they'll go through preceding steps. You can see in this instance, there's 3 of 6 steps for this. Now I'll go back to the iRecruit platform and hop out of these other tabs. Important piece of this is that the report results can also be seen from right within your tab. You'll notice that this button updated for this one saying waiting on applicant. Typically in the beginning it would say screen with verified first, then it would move to waiting on applicant, and the next step would be report complete. If you hop into it again, you click here, view report, you can see the report from this portal. Again, you don't have to leave iRecruit. Once you see the report, you can come into here and approve it. So if we're ready to review a report, you can come in and approve or not approve the report and take further actions from there. In a nutshell, that is the demo of the integration with iRecruit. Brian, do you have any highlights that I missed or anything that I skipped over that you'd like to interject?
I'm not sure you missed anything necessarily, but I just want to add, you can see the reason why iRecruit chose Verified First. No IT department that I know has extra time. So the fact that we're able to do the implementation so easy and so simplified in a Chrome browser is a no-brainer for people to utilize. And then also, I love them keeping me in compliance with the respective compliance letters by state. By the way, they could differ by state. And so not only are we using the front end technology, which obviously works very well, but it's staying us in compliance at the same time. So those are some strong attributes.
Yeah, definitely. I'll navigate back to the presentation here as we transition to this last slide. Really just key points here. Like you said, the integration is super easy to implement, keeps you in compliance, and really actually takes some time back into your hands as the HR and talent acquisition teams, that you're able to more confidently hire applicants and hire them faster, really. As we enter this last slide, if you have any questions, please let us know. Brian, go for it.
Yeah, we have a couple actually, and they're asking, how do we get started? So if you've seen the bottom left of the screen, my email is there, bkelly@irecruitsoftware.com, and Lindsay Strong, lstrong@irecruit-software.com. If you're interested in getting started, please email us. We'll get one of our teammates at Verified First to give you a call and set up the different pricing options for you.
Definitely, yeah. iRecruit and Verified First work hand in hand together. So email Brian or Lindsay, and they'll get you set up with us, and we'll go to work with you to get that account set up and running. It really doesn't take long, a matter of days to get the account set up, and that integration in place, like you said, takes about 30 seconds. And once you get that in place and your account login, you can be off and running screens in just a matter of a couple of days, like I said. Big thank you for iRecruit hopping on, Brian. Appreciate it. Appreciate your time. Are there any other final notes you'd leave before we log off?
No, I think we did a complete job, and I think we're seeing why people are using the Verified First product with the iRecruit. It's just a great tool. So excellent. Thanks for your help.
Awesome. Yes. Thank you too. Appreciate it. Everybody else, have a great rest of your day, please, and we'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye.